Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's summer is gone well. It is over, pretty much. Next week is Labor Day, right? I'm working to get a little extra money. And also, at my job, if you work, I think 2 holidays, you can request off for like Thanksgiving and Christmas. Like, you have a better chance. You're not going to be working. So, we'll see how true that is. Because the last time was holiday season, I was in training. So, it is what it is. But as always, obligatory self promotion. What if I ruled the world? Poems inspired by music, written by me. It's always linked everywhere you can think of. In the link tree, in the description, anywhere. Also, my social media is linked in there if you want to check me out anywhere else. Um, I do post a weekly because I talk about the videos that I'm going to talk about, during the week, like right now. Um, so I always make short videos, so they're like TikTok, Instagram, here. So if you want to see me somewhere else, you can see me anywhere you want to see me. And today I decided to wear my black Wall Street shirt because I feel like, well, not that I feel like, but Nipsey Hussle was very entrepreneurially and wanted black people to, own their own things and, take control of, their lives and their craft and their money. So I feel like it was appropriate. And I also got a little haircut, which you can't really see it 100% in the camera, but we're here to talk about Nipsey Hussle's discography, which technically, uh, he only had one official album when he was alive. Unfortunately, he had a lot of mixtapes, um, but there was a posthumous release that just came out. So we're gonna go over, talk about his biography, and I'm gonna talk about the uh, the albums. So he was born Ermias Joseph Askedom. I hope I said his name right. He was born August 15th, 1985, and the newest album just came out the day before what would have been his 41st birthday, which is so sad. The thing about, he passed away March 31st, 2019. He was known professionally as Nipsey Hussle, which is a combination of like Nipsey Russell, like he was always eating, but then, he's Hustler. So that's how he got his name. He was a rapper, American rapper, activist, and entrepreneur, emerging from the West Coast hip hop scene in the mid 2000s. Hustle self released his debut mixtape, Slauson Boy Volume 1, to moderate local success, leading to him to sign with Cinematic Music Group and Epic Records. He was born and raised in Los Angeles. Hustle gained a regional following for his Bullets Ain't Got No Name mixtape series, as well as The Marathon, Marathon Continues, and Crenshaw, that however which was purchased 100 times by rapper Jay-Z for $100 each. So he did like a kind of an independent thing with his Crenshaw mixtape, and he made it $100. I mean, it was free online, but if you really wanted to go out and support it, that's what he did. So he would, be direct consumer, taking control of his art and how it was presented. After multiple delays, his debut studio album, Victory Lap, came out in 2018. It peaked at number 2 on the Billboard 200, received critical acclaim, was nominated for Best Rap Album at the 61st Grammy Awards. The 2019 single, Racks in the Middle, featuring Roddy Ricch and Hit Boy, and I guess to appearance along John Legend on DJ Khaled's song Higher, won Best Rap Performance and Best Rap Sung Performance, respectively, at the 62nd, I can't read today, Grammy Awards, which unfortunately, of course, he had already, not of course, but he had already passed away before, he even got those awards. So that was sad. Outside of music, Hussle uh, inaugurated, like I said, I can't read today, the Marathon clothing store, which he founded along with partners Careless, the head of the agency, uh, Karen Civil, and his brother Samuel Askedom in 2017. It started a co-working environment. Gotta edit this from when I copied from Wikipedia. He called Vector 90. On March 31st, 2019, Hussle was fatally shot outside his store in South Central Los Angeles. And his killer, Eric Holder, a 29-year-old man who confronted Hussle earlier that day, was arrested and charged with murder 2 days later. He was found guilty of first-degree murder on July 6, 2022, and on February 22nd, 2023, he was sentenced to 60 years to life, which is great, but it's also very sad because he also had two children. He had a daughter, Imani, from a previous relationship. And then I have to remember what his son's name was. But he had a son with Lauren London, who he was with. She's an actress, if you didn't know, when he passed away. And now I gotta remember what the little boy's name is. Because I just watched a video with him and his daughter. So that's why I remember her name so quickly. Um, and I'm trying to remember what his son's name. I feel like his son is named after him. But we'll see how fast the internet pulls up. Because every time I make a video, it doesn't want to pull up. Da-da-da, personal life. Oh, did I pass personal life? I think I did. How in the world did I pass that? Community activist. Okay. Of course, they don't have his son's name. I'm pretty sure he is named after him. Yeah, sometimes the internet just wants to do what it wants to do. I just searched something. Let's type in kids since I'm already on the thing. But yeah, that's really sad. He got taken away from his kids and didn't get to see them grow up. And it's just like over an argument. It's really sad. Well, whenever this pulls up, we'll find out. I do not want to join my personal hotspot. My internet shouldn't be on. Well, whenever we get there, we'll figure it out. So that was a little bit about him. He had, when I looked it up, I didn't put it in here. Um, Cross, that was his name. Because I know Lauren, her two sons had K names, but I could not remember. But I think he has his father's middle name, from what I can remember. And when he had that celebration of life, they had like the pictures of all of them, and it was just, it's just so sad. So yeah, so that's about his life, and we're gonna talk about his only album he had while he was alive, which was called Victory Lap, which was released February 16th, 2018. The genre is West Coast hip hop, gangster rap, G funk, conscious rap, and trap. And you can stream it on everything: YouTube Music, Apple Music, which is what I use, Pandora, Deezer, iHeartRadio, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Amazon Music. I was gonna say Apple Music again because they have these A's, but anyway. And then the vibes. What were the vibes giving? Hustling, which play on his name. Motivation, respect slash street cred. I put them together. So we're gonna go over my favorite songs, my least favorite songs, and my overall opinion. So the title track, Victory Lap, featuring Stacy Broth Birth. I hope I said her last name right. Very great opening track and title track. Sets off the album vibes from the beginning, showing how he came up and made it. And some of these I did not talk about the beat, but I feel like it was like, very triumphant victory, like, champion kind of music. And then Dedication featuring Kendrick Lamar, which Kendrick Lamar is one of my favorite rappers. I want to say, I'm trying to think. I have a lot of favorite female rappers right now. I don't know if I have a lot of. He is, I guess, would be probably my most favorite male rapper right now, just off the top of my head. But I have a lot of favorite female rappers right now. But I have a lot of more old school male rappers that I like, or that are my favorites. But yeah, he's up there. He's my favorite right now for the modern era. showing how they both worked hard to get where they are and want to show other black artists how to get where they want to be and stay independent. And of course, Kendrick was great, like he is. I feel like on every song. Um, and I really love that about Nipsey Hussle's music. He's really trying to motivate everybody else and getting black people to really be independent and really take charge of their lives and how they work and operate. And then Kid of the City featuring T Fly. That's what it looks like. Love the wordplay, and the beat sounds like a champion type beat they would play in the Rocky movie, if that makes sense. LOL. That kind of beat. Like the Eye of the Tiger type beat, because now it's stuck in my head. T Fly is actually a good feature from what I can remember, and it was basically like, putting on for your city, having the key to the city. Those were the vibes. And then my last favorite song was Real Big featuring Marsha Ambrosius. I think that's going to be as close as I'm going to get to her last name, but you know her from poetry, and she has a solo career. Very smooth beat wise, uh, very right around the night type of smooth cruising beat. Another motivational song about doing things bigger, make everything real big. And I really love that vibe. I do have one least favorite song, and it's Blue Laces 2, but it's just because he shouts out Rick Ross saying he's showing people how to get rich. Rick Ross was never a gangster. And I hate that he gets to cosplay and use a real person's identity for his rap career. And I'm mad. He was not able to get sued for that by the real Rick Ross, which I don't approve of what the real Rick Ross did, but at least, he actually did what he was talking about. And I feel like it's crazy. He gets to cosplay as somebody else's life and there's no like damage to his street cred or anything. Even after the Officer Ricky picture. It just but I feel like a lot of rappers just kind of lying, honestly. So, hey, it is what it is. But that was my only least favorite song. And then I have my overall opinion. Definitely a good first album, but it's unfortunate because he won't have the opportunity to get better. We would just have to have material that whatever he was able to create before he passed, if he did have a lot of extra songs or whatever. Um, but like Tupac had like a bunch of stuff in the vault, so I don't know what kind of stuff they have in the vault for him. I will say the beginning and the end of the album was strong. They were really strong. Like Victory Lap, I feel like the first like 4 or 5 songs, I think Dedication was part of those songs. I always try to like have a favorite song or 2 favorite songs from the beginning and 2 from the end. So it's not all in one section, unless it's just I hate everything in the beginning. So, but in the middle, it started blending together for me, like sound wise. And I could tell this was his like magnum opus, what like his big record that he wanted to put out. I definitely see the potential of what he could have been. And I usually don't give, halves or anything, but I was like, I think it was 6.8 out of 10. It was almost there. I feel like if they cut it down the songs, because it was like 16, because there were like 2 bonus tracks. One of the bonus tracks at the end, he said it was supposed to be in the beginning, because it was like kind of like a good opening track, and it really did sound like a good opening track. He should have kept that he should have been the after Victory Lap, honestly, but I was glad it was still in the bonus tracks, but it kind of had the same vibes. But yeah, he could have put the strongest in the beginning and end it to make it like a 10 to 12 songs, solid songs. It would have been better. But it's just so sad that, unfortunately, there's not going to be another opportunity to, for him to perfect his craft and, you know, change anything. So this album is called Prolific, his second album with Bendo Redo. That's what, when I looked up how to pronounce his name, that's what it said it was. So he's also a rapper, and they worked together on this album. So a lot of these songs, I think, were from 2017. They were like working on it, but it just finally came out and got remastered because like a lot of people when they were listening to like promoting the album and they were on his Instagram, they were like, these were already been leaked or were already online, but they just weren't I guess, polished and remastered and finalized, basically. It was released August 14th this year, so this month. Always got a typo or something, sort of thing. The genre is hip hop or rap. It does not have a Wikipedia page, so I'm going with what I could find. The vibes are nostalgia, mellow, but not a bad mellow. I'm just gonna clarify that. And just vibes. I don't know how to describe it, but I guess good vibes. Like when you're just chilling, you're hanging out, you're having a good time. Those kind of vibes. And then my favorite songs are Sacrifices featuring James Flaunt Lorray. I've seen his name before, but I'm not doing good pronouncing names today. But I love the beat. Reminds me of like a tropical vibe mixed with early 2000s, that's 2010s rap, which makes sense because it was originally recorded in 2017. Reminds me of Summer in Miami. Now that I'm thinking about it, it might be called Summer with Miami by Jim Jones. But if y'all know the song I'm talking about, y'all know what I'm talking about. I love the wordplay and very relatable, talking about sacrifices and relationships. I also kind of feel like it was kind of a toxic relate, or it might be the next song that was kind of a toxic relationship kind of sounding thing. Um, but yeah. And then speaking of Summer with Miami, the next song is called Miami Off the Plane. And I just said I was just talking about it. LOL. Very tropical vibes, riding with your boo, even though it's hard, sticking with them. Oh yeah, this one was, I think that was the one that was kind of like toxic love song kind of vibes. Like they were just going back and forth with their boo. Bino sounds good, but is mostly auto tuned, so it can mask how he truly sounds. LOL. I will say, but it's very melodic in his verses, which I like. I will say some of the things that he put on his voice during that album, I didn't really like. It was a little annoying. Um, but it is what it is. And then the next favorite song is Super Real. Great chill vibes, like the song says. You're just chilling with your boo and vibing, just being super real with each other. I love the beginning with him and Lauren talking. So it's like a video of him teasing Lauren, like, "Oh, I got you. I'm bagged and tagged you," and she's like, "Oh, she's like, "Come on," like messing around with them. So I thought that was cute. Building each other up. Through like about being super real and building each other up. And then I also my last favorite song was "I Just Want to Know" featuring Ty Dolla Sign and Cardi B. Very sexy song. Definitely a great song when you're doing your thing. I think that would be cool to put on. Cardi B was a great feature, and Ty Dolla Sign sounds good as usual too. He's a great. I feel like he's a good singer. Sometimes he's a little cringy outside of that, but it is what it is. I know a lot of people had issues with Cardi B being on the song, but from what I remember and from what people have said, he was definitely supportive of her. Even though he didn't win the best rap album when she won, he was still supportive and giving her praise and saying, "Hey, you did a great job. Congratulations." He was cool with her. I only had one least favorite song again. It's called Situations. It's so short that it blends in from Super Real, so it doesn't really stand out. It's really like forgettable. It's like the shortest one. It's like not even 2 minutes. And I didn't even realize. I thought it was still part of Super Real until I was looking at the track list because sometimes I listen and I do other stuff. So I went back and I was like, let me listen to the song again. Kind of felt like an interlude, honestly. All right, and in my overall opinion, I feel like the nostalgia and the vibes works in this album's favor. I really enjoyed this album. I will say sometimes it was a little too mellow. Most of the time it was a good mellow, but then sometimes it was like a little bit too relaxed. I would like some more fast songs, on it, kind of like party songs. I think lengthwise this album was better because Victory Lap was like an hour and 5 minutes. I don't want to sound like, like I'm Gen Z and I can't. My attention span is like terrible, but you really gotta hook people if you're gonna do an hour and 5 minute album. This album was 48 minutes. I feel like that was good. Good sweet spot. Um oh yeah, and I feel like it was good. It was just enough where it didn't feel like it was dragging. Like especially in the first album in the middle was kinda like, okay, where we're going with this. And I would give this one a solid 7 out of 10. It definitely gave mixtape from 2017 vibes, which was when it was originally recorded. So that, yeah, if you want some nostalgic vibes, it's there. So I decided to write a poem this time because I was gonna write a rant, but I was like, you know what? Let me do a poem. I haven't done one in maybe a video or two. I can't remember. But I wrote another Tyburn style poem, which is a 6-line poem. So the first 4 lines are 2 syllables, and the last 2 lines are 9 syllables. I'm going to put this all in the description. The first 4 lines rhyme and are descriptive words. Then the last 2 lines rhyme and incorporate the first, second, third, and fourth lines as the fifth through eighth syllables. So basically, you take those words and you put them in to the last 2 sentences. That's it. This was actually kind of hard. You'd think something short is gonna be easier. I feel like I've said this before, but honestly, it's like more challenging because you don't have the freedom to like really open up. Like when you have free verse and you can just say whatever you want, or like for example, like a high bun style poem where you can get that full paragraph and then you get the short one at the end, so you can get everything you want in the beginning, and then in the end you can just you get that little short condensed and you work in with those constraints. Yeah. So shorter poems, it's not like that. But I call this one Tootsie Pop. And it's inspired by I Just Want to Know. Sexy, tasty, horny, spicy. I'm feeling so sexy and tasty tonight. I'm so horny, spicy. Take a bite. I feel like I wanted to say, I feel like I wanted to word that differently, but I haven't done one of these in a while. I did them before, like when I looked up, it was like 3 years ago. Three, no, it was like two. I did one in 2023 and I did one in 2024. So 2 to 3 years ago. So, I want to play around with these poetry forms more often. So, have you listened to Victory Lap? Have you listened to Prolific? What do you think about them? Do you feel like it's like a cash grab for the Prolific album? What do you think about it? Um, I don't really feel like it's a cash grab because I mean, if they were going to do that, it's been a long 7 years since he passed away. Definitely would have been made more sense to do it right when he passed away. But I still feel like it's a solid project. It's just so sad. I keep saying this. Unless he has another album in the vault, this might be it. You know, and I feel like this just like with like so much gun violence, especially with the black community. Like it's just such a sad thing that we go through, and that we are fighting with each other. And by no means is this exclusive to the black community. I just want to say that because people always talking about black on black crime. Whenever you're within proximity of whoever so black people are mostly in proximity with black people, white people are in proximity with other white people, and they do stuff to each other all the time. We don't be talking about white on white stats. I mean, we do, but not in the way that they talk about black on black crime. But yeah, so it's just really sad. And then, dealing with, and then Takeoff passed away a couple years ago from gun violence. So it's just like a vicious cycle. So, but yeah, let me know what you guys think about his albums. Have you listened to his mixtapes? I do want to listen to his mixtapes. I'm trying to keep myself motivated and doing these videos, but I'm also feeling kind of lazy. So I'm trying to keep myself engaged and, doing things that I really know that I will enjoy. You know what I mean? All right. So I hope you guys had a great summer. I'm going to see you guys in September. That's crazy. I'm going to have 4 months left of the year by then. So I will see you all next week.